Good morning, all. I am AKANKSHA VISHWAKARMA, Assistant Professor, Index Institute of Pharmacy, Malvanchal University, Indore, MP. Now, I light the focus on this topic, ecosystem. So, let's start the lecture on ecosystem. History. The term ecology was coined by Ernest Haeckel in 1869, derived from Greek word "okosis", whom plus logos means study. Ecology deals with the study of organisms in their natural home, interacting with their surroundings. The surroundings or environment consist of other living organisms, that is biotic, and physical means abiotic components. This is a picture showing living things and non-living things. Living things means biotic and non-living things means abiotic. Some examples of the biotics and abiotic systems are as follows: biotic plants, animals, bacteria, fungus, protozoa. Abiotic Abiotic example: soil, air, minerals, light, and water. Modern ecologists believe that an adequate definition of ecology must specify some unit of study, and one such basic unit described by Tansley in 1935 was ecosystem. What is ecosystem? We will see about ecosystem. An ecosystem is a group of biotic communities of species interacting with one another and with their non-living environmental exchanging energy and matter. First point is that now ecology is often defined as study of ecosystem. Second, an ecosystem is an integrated unit consisting of interacting plants, animals, and microorganisms whose survival depend depends upon the maintenance and regulation of their biotic and abiotic structures and functions. The ecosystem is thus a unit or a system which is composed of a number of subunits that are all directly or indirectly linked with each other. This is the picture showing the ecosystem. Then we will see the ecosystem characteristic. Ecosystem show large variations in their size, structure, and compositions, etc. First one is structure characteristics. Ecosystem consists of two factors, abiotic factor and biotic factor. Biotic factor are producers, consumers, and decomposers. Consumers are three types of consumers. Primary means herbivorous, secondary means primary carnivorous, and tertiary. Tertiary means secondary carnivorous. Biotic structure. The plants, animals, and microorganisms. These organisms have different nutritional behavior and status in ecosystem are accordingly known as producers or consumers. Based on how do they get their food. Producers. Producers mainly green plants, which can synthesize their food themselves through the process of photosynthesis and photoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs means auto means self and tropos means food. Photo means light. Some microorganisms which can produce organic matter to some extent through oxidations of certain chemicals in the absence of sunlight. They are known as chemosynthetic organisms or chemoautotrophs. They are known as chemosynthetic organisms and chemoautotrophs. Some microorganisms which can produce organic matter to some extent through oxidation of certain chemicals in the absence of sunlight. They are known as chemosynthetic organisms or chemoautotrophs. For instance, in the ocean depth where there is no sunlight, chemoautotrophic sulfur bacteria make use of heat generated by the decay of radioactive elements present in the earth core and released in ocean depth. They use This heat to convert dissolved hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide into organic compounds. Consumers. All organisms which get their organic food by feeding upon other organisms are called consumers. Type of consumers. There are two types of consumers, herbivorous and carnivorous. Herbivorous only eats plants and carnivorous eats animals. Omnivorous. Omnivorous eats both plant and animals, and scavengers eats bodies of dead organisms. Decomposers drive their nutrition by breaking down the complex organic molecules to simpler organic compounds and ultimately into inorganic nutrients. Various bacteria and fungi are decomposers. Decomposers, worm, mushroom, insect, and bacteria. Abiotic structure. The physical and chemical component of an ecosystem contribute its abiotic structure, such eliminate factor, edaphic soil factor, geographical factor, energy, nutrients, and toxic substance. Physical factor. Sunlight and speed, intensity of solar flux, duration of sun hours, average temperature, maximum minimum temperature, annual rainfall, wind, latitude and altitude, soil type, water availability, water currents, etc. are some of the important physical features which have a strong influence on the ecosystem. All these factors affect lives and distribution of living organisms. Chemical factors. Availability of major essential nutrients like carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur. Level of toxic substance, salts causing salinity, and bridges organic substance present in the soil or water largely influence the functioning of the ecosystem. Trophic structure. It is pattern of movement of energy and matter through ecosystem. It is the result of compressing a community food web into series of trophic levels. The producers and consumers are arranged in the ecosystem in a definite manner and their interactions along with population size are expressed through as trophic structure. Each food level is known as trophic level, and the amount of living matter at each trophic level at a given time is known as standing crop or standing biomass. Food chain. The sequence of eating and being eaten in an ecosystem. All organisms, living or dead, are potential food for some other organisms, and thus there is essentially no wastage in the functioning of a natural ecosystem. A food chain shows the transfer of energy within an ecosystem. Energy is transferred between organisms when one organism eats another. A food chain is a simple linear series of steps, while a food chain is more complex. Glass grassland ecosystem. What is food chain in tundra? This is the picture of the tundra biome food chain. Each organism in the ecosystem is assigned a feeding level of trophic level depending on its nutritional status. Thus, in the grassland food chain, grasshopper occupies first mm, trophic level. From the second, snakes the third, and hawk occupies fourth trophic level respectively. The decomposers consume the dead matter of all these trophic levels. In nature, we come across two major types of food chain. First, raging food chain. Second, detritus food chain. It starts with dead organic matter, which in detritivores and decomposers consumers. Partially decomposed dead organic matter, and even the decomposers are consumed by detritivores and their predators. Food web. Food web is a network of food chain where different types of organisms are connected at different trophic levels so that there are several options of eating and being eaten at each trophic level. Significance of food chain and food webs. First, food chain and food webs play a very important significant role in the ecosystem because the two most important functions of energy flow and nutrient cycling take place through them. Second, the food chains also help in maintaining and regulating the population size of different animals and thus help maintain the ecological balance. Third, food chain show a unique property of biological magnification of some chemicals. Fourth, there are several pesticides, heavy metals, and other chemicals which are non-biodegradable in nature. Such chemicals are not decomposed by microorganisms and they keep on passing from one tropic level to another. And at each successive tropic level, they keep on interesting in concentration. This phenomenon is known as biomagnification or biological magnification. TDT case study. Ecological pyramids. Graphics presentation of trophic structure and functions of an ecosystem starting with producers at the base and successive trophic levels forming the apex is known as an ecological pyramid. Ecological pyramid are of three types. First, pyramid of numbers. It represents the number of individual organisms at each trophic level. Pyramid of biomass. It is based upon the total biomass diameter at each trophic level in a food chain. The pyramid of biomass in a forest is upright in contrast to its pyramid of numbers. This is because of producers accumulate a huge biomass while the consumers total biomass feeding on them declines at higher trophic level, resulting in broad base and narrowing top. The pond ecosystem shows an inverted pyramid of biomass. The total biomass of producers is much less as compared to herbivorous, carnivorous, and tertiary carnivorous. Thus, the pyramid takes an inverted shape which narrows base and broad apex. Pyramid of energy. The amount of energy present at Each tropic level is considered for this type of pyramid. At every successive tropic level, there is a huge loss of energy in the form of heat, respiration, etc. Thus, at each next higher level, only 10% energy passes on. Hence, there is a sharp decline in energy level. So each successive tropic level, as we move from producers to top carnivores. Ecological succession. First point, an ecosystem is not static in nature. Second, it is dynamic and changes its structure as well as functions with time and quiet. Interestingly, these changes are very orderly and can be predicted. Third, it is observed that one type of a community is totally replaced by another type of community over a period of time, and simultaneously several changes also occurs. This process is known as ecological succession. Fourth, ecological succession is defined as an orderly process of changes in the community structure and functions with time, mediated through modifications in the physical environment and ultimately culminating in a stabilized ecosystem known as climax. The whole sequence of communities which are transitory known as serial stage or series, whereas the community establishing first of all in the area is called pioneer community. Ecological succession starting on different types of area or substrata are named differently are as follows. First, hydrangea or hydro series, starting in watery area like pond, swamps, bog. Marsh marshes, starting in an area of adequate moisture. Sewage, starting in dry area with little moisture, they can be of the following types: lithoseri, Shamoseri, and Holosheri. This is the process of ecological succession: nudation, invasion, coaction, reaction, and stabilization means climax. Nudation. It is the development of a berry area without any life form. The berry area may be caused due to land size, volcanic eruptions, etc., or due to drought, glacier, frost, etc. due to overgrazing, disease outbreak, agriculture and industrial activities. And the second, invasion. It is the successful establishment of one or more species on berry area through dispersal or migration, followed by sheases or establishment. Dispersion of the seeds, pores, etc. is brought about by wind, water, insects, or birds. And then the seeds germinate and grow on the land. As growth and reproduction start, these pioneer species increase in number and form groups and aggregations. The competition and coaction. As the number of individuals grows, there is competition, both inner specific and intra-specific for space, water, and nutrition. They influence each other in number of ways known as coaction and then reaction. The living organisms grow use water and nutrition from substratum and in turn they have a strong influence on environment which modified to a large extent and this is known as reaction. The modifications are very often such that they become unsuitable for the existing species and favor some new species which replace them. Thus, reaction leads to several chiral communities and stabilization. The succession ultimately culminates in a more or less stable community called climax, which is in equilibrium with environment.